All right, call the meeting to order.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, just so everybody's aware, there is a copy of the select board meeting policies up at the desk. I guess there's one adjustment to the agenda, removing number 11, this shellfish.
Yeah.
I make a motion that we remove that.
How about we move it to next meeting?
Yeah, this off this agenda.
Yeah, a second.
All right, all in favor?
Actually, I think number 12, we're not ready for the personnel policy yet.
Well, I can just give an update on that.
Okay.
Looked over the prior meeting minutes for March 2nd. Be all in order. Make the motion that we accept it.
Second that motion?
All in favor? Looked over the treasurer's warrant. It's as it should be. I make a motion that we accept.
We just separate it. That's what I was telling you earlier. Don't do it, do it two separate things.
The subsection A, I make a motion that we approve it.
I second.
All in favor? All right, I make a motion that subsection B, 18 warrant, we accept it.
Second.
All in favor? Okay, at this time, we are moving into executive session pursuant to 1 MRSA 4056 F to discuss confidential records. Anybody that's not a part of that has to leave the, you get to stay. Everybody else has to leave.
Yeah, you're not.
You would know.
So we're just gonna pause this.
Okay, make a motion that we come into our regular session.
I second that motion.
All in favor? All right. So we made decisions on both the abatement requests. For both. Now you put that in bold. This person,
Do we have to vote on that?
vote on these ones?
Nope.
Moving on to new business.
Old business meeting.
And now old business. Personnel policy.
So I had a lot of help with working on the personnel policy. I'm just about ready to have to add a sign off page and about filling a section about Family Medical Leave Act. And then I think we'll have legal take a look at it and make sure we're all good.
Pre-trimming, where are we at with that?
Well, I went out and Greg was gonna go out and review it and went out, drove around yesterday and looked at the specific roads we were talking about. Thorn Road, Grange Hall Road.
Did you do that for 13 and 14?
Yeah, actually I did it while I was doing it. I was out for 14. Since I was out.
I figured those two would just blend nicely together.
Yeah, in my opinion, again, I'm not an expert. None of those are what I would say dire straits in need of trim. Now, I talked to Ray about it and we thought maybe we would talk to the gentleman that does our roadside maintenance, that does the trimming alongside the roads, the cutting. The mowing, because he does these roads anyway. And we'll be back in the summer and maybe have him take a look at it, or something he can do. Because I don't see, I mean, quite honestly, if we need to do it, it could be a couple guys in a pickup truck and a trailer. and, to do it, but that's not a long-term solution. It's just volunteers kind of go doing it again.
Mhm.
As I was out doing it though, I got distracted by it because the shape of the damn roads are so bad. And I got out there from at least Flanders Stream, the Alewife crossing, up on Thorn Road, needs to be redone. Grainshaw Road, the entire road needs to be redone. Morancy Road, the majority of that road needs to be redone. The Tucker Mountain Road, as you coming in on Tucker Mountain, where we had Greg check it before, he said it wasn't bad.
Mhm.
That culvert sunk so bad, it's a hazard. So my suggestion is we, for the trimming, we have the, what's his name again, Ray?
Rob Marshall.
Rob Marshall, take a, see what he can do for us on it. But, I think we need to focus on fixing these roads, sooner rather than later.
Mhm.
And just by suggestion. And
When was the last time those were ditched?
I don't know,
You know?
it doesn't,
I don't know, because when we looked into, and the last time Taunton was ditched, the number of 27 years came.
Of course, the 30-year one.
just based on number of houses on the roads, and I would suggest we do Grange Hall Road first, Moranci Road second, Thorn Road third, and then we look up the upper part of, Flanders, Tunk.
And replace, at the very least, replace that culvert on Tucker.
Yeah, and we gotta fix that culvert. Now on Tucker, that you can get to the houses on that side without, actually driving over that part of the road.
Mhm.
So again, I would think, do we have, traffic cones or anything like that downstairs?
Last time I put cones out, they stole them all. But we
Oh,
can get
okay.
some more. I do have a couple of like, the barriers
Yeah.
that we can at least let somebody know that there's something around.
Can we get, how does that work? Can we get a bid out to replace that culvert? Or is that something Greg does, or how does that work?
Yeah, we should add,
And that's on Thorn or?
The culvert's on, Tucker Mountain Road.
I'll ask a couple of the guys that do work for us for a quote on changing that culvert out.
Yeah,
Because we kind of did it
It
on,
shouldn't be.
on Taunton. It's the same time we did the ditching, we did the culverts.
yeah. But Tucker Mountain, the road itself is fine except for that one spot. I mean,
Is it a residential?
no, it's our,
Okay.
yeah, it's our road. But again, you could block it off and not impact anybody. Because the house that's for sale, the White House?
Mhm.
On there, it's got a straight shot in. There's another house up on the hill that you can come in and get up to, and then nobody has to drive over that road. So, but, I used to go out the back way going to the Black Sheep, going through there, and Mini Cooper would bottom out on that now. We went over it in the truck yesterday and it was in bad shape. Yeah, yeah.
No, I think where it's one culvert and it's in that
Yep.
bad a shape where you said that like you could lose your car.
Mhm.
Yeah, if someone
Maybe
goes
that would
over there,
fall under our emergency ability to just hire somebody.
yeah,
Well, I'll ask a couple of the regular guys and see who's available and get some numbers back.
that needs to be fixed.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is a hazard.
Because they may not, we don't also know if they would do it at this point. They may tell us, no, I need to wait a couple weeks.
Yeah,
Mhm.
But let me ask.
they'll wait till it stops seething.
And are we looking to do 2 miles again this year?
I think we're looking to do, well, we're not gonna, you don't know where your dollar brings you this time. Especially if the treatment that you did to Taunton, if it's something more you have to do on a road, it might cost you more, something
Mhm.
less, it might cost you less, but
Yeah.
you don't know. But if you look at if you put out a bid, and you ask the people to break into segments, don't give me here's my whole thing, but
Mhm.
this road cost this road cost this. So if you had to, cull something out of that based on budget wise, you could. You'd at least know what you got.
Hmm.
Because if you do Grange Hall end to end, a
It's
piece of,
only like a half.
yeah, it's not long.
Yeah, it was great, yeah.
Exactly a half.
Yeah.
Now, if you don't mind my saying, the last time that was done was 2013.
There you go.
They only paid the one half, the east side.
Yeah.
So basically, from the bottom of the hill going up the hill, that was the last time in 2013.
Yeah, it needs,
Yeah.
it needs, quite honestly, I just kept looking for the branches and then having to dodge the potholes. Yeah, I never paid that much attention to the road until I got on here, and it's like, we need to step up the road stuff. It was bad.
Mhm.
So that's my recommendation, but
Right, so that's, once again, going back to ditching, because that should be done first.
Well,
before you
yeah.
pave, right?
Yeah, you gotta look also, not every road has the same needs for ditching.
right.
Mm.
So, you know, ditching definitely costs a lot, and it would trim down what you could do as far as
Now, that was something that Grange Hall did need though, right? That.
Grange Hall could use some ditching. Definitely on your side.
Especially there, the culverts are working.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys cleaned out the culverts, I think,
Yeah.
last year.
Yep.
But what's happening on the north side, there's a swampy area, and basically everything comes down from both directions to one point. Right where that guy bought the house now, and
Okay.
that's the only section, so basically from, get my neighbor's name across the street.
Yeah.
The old teacher.
Yeah, Vern Campbell.
Yeah, Campbell.
Yep.
From his road, his driveway, all the water's been washing down and filling up and washing down, filling up the ditch there. So from that point to the culvert, if that was dug out, that's the only drainage issue. However, right in front of the house that they're working on now, it's been puddling, right there. And his lawn comes all the way up to the road, and it's about a foot higher than the road. And that actually needs some type of culvert. But you'd be digging up his lawn.
Yeah.
These you went out with Greg? or-
No, I can't go out with Greg. So, no, this is just, I went out actually with Kim and I out driving and checked it all out yesterday.
It was supposed to be two separate assessments to come back and see what's the collective information. So you get 2 point of views.
Yeah, so that's my point of view. I actually, if you take or dry it out there, and we bring it up next meeting and start moving on it.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah,
I'd rather
that
just
we should start
sooner
moving on
rather than later.
Yep.
Yeah.
You said which one was first, second, third?
Oh, in my mind, and this is really based on the number of residences there. I would say Grange Hall 1, 2 for Moranci, 3rd for Thorn, and then 4th, which we do need to do is upper Tunk.
Okay.
But
There's that
Yeah, we
piece
talked about
that's,
that last-
yeah, and everybody
Right.
says we gotta do that, we gotta do that, and I think Willie like to do it, but there's only like 2 houses up there and they're not occupied most of the time.
Mhm.
So again, in my mind, we do just like we did Taunton last time.
Yeah.
Let's hit the larger population basis first. And I did go down, we drove Miramar. Yeah, it could be done, but it didn't seem to be in that bad a shape. So,
Those are very small roads, so we could
yeah,
do
There's-
1 and 2 easily, just boom.
yeah.
but putting together some kind of a road RFP,
Yeah.
but to have it in segments, so they price it in segments.
Mhm.
So that, and with the understanding that here's why, in
Right.
case for any reason the town had to say, oh, I can't do this, I know how much I'm not doing. You could adjust it based on budget.
That's
Yeah.
what we need our road commissioner for.
So anyway, that's my recommendation. And we'll bring it up again next
Bring it
meeting.
up.
Great, so.
All right, any news on budget committee?
Is there a vote committee?
Doesn't appear to be.
Member?
Sorry?
I said, I'll be the member of one right now until somebody else volunteers.
Okay.
There you go, 1 and 2.
There you go.
That's a start.
What's the date we need to have this in by, Ray?
It's supposed to be in on, according to state law.
When did we have this done? We were looking for April.
Yeah, we had it on the calendar.
Let's keep it.
On our to-do list?
Yeah. We're gonna get enough of cover. It's possible.
No, that's a free copy of them.
No, I just think it's
No, it's not
in-
Some reason I want to say this. 16th.
calendar. Yeah,
Hold on, okay. Okay.
If you don't mind my saying, since we volunteered, do we do some one meeting tonight?
Yes, please. And let's
Sure,
swear
huh?
That way we
people
can
record.
Especially we have, it'd be good to get it. The roads back into Mike and I was on the last move here. Since we only have 13 miles of roads, it'd be good to be proactive on getting.
Start thinking ahead.
Yeah, I did initially put some more money on the road budget on the paving.
And what hurts us is we can get hopes about
Mm-hmm.
like now,
Mm-hmm.
you know.
Yep.
And then we can jump on it when instead of waiting.
Yeah, this way you're ready to jump as soon as the new budget's approved. July 1st, you get guys set up and they start going.
Oil's gonna be $32 a gallon.
By then,
Well, but that's also gonna affect the paving product that you put on the road. Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah, we can't do October or anything like that. We have to be ready ahead of
How
time.
much did we spend?
Doing Taunton was like, I think it was around 350,000 without,
yeah, it came in cheaper than what we were expecting.
yeah. But that's a lot of road.
Yeah, that's 2 miles.
They really didn't do much. doing.
No, did a lot of building up though.
Yeah,
Did a lot of building up.
with that kind of. Did that affect the drainage by your place?
So far, it hasn't been a negative impact on my house, but like at the shop,
I remember
definitely.
seeing it.
It's carving a river right through the parking lot.
Okay. we
Oh,
got
there it is. 421.
Finalization of the town budget at 421.
Mm-hmm. So it's just shy of, just over a month.
Now, they asked if they could reach one.
We can do that. Do you mind if we do it at the next meeting, so I can have the forms all done up for you next meeting?
So the forms are official.
Sorry, but yes, they would have. To vote. And then,
Yeah. Oh,
thank you, sorry to.
all right.
You have the guidelines for the budget committee put together, like the committee guidelines.
Not on me.
We need to provide those to them.
Make sure they have all the tools they need.
And where these guidelines come from?
We pulled them from various other town ordinances or towns and compiled them and reviewed them and customized them a little bit for the town of Sullivan. It was just standard, and it's not specifically for the budget, it's just how committees in general should be run. Because we had a point, Jerry, where nobody was selecting a chairman, nobody was keeping minutes, nobody was keeping a vice chairman. So we were trying to put some rules and regulations in regards to,
Yeah, you were working on it pretty good last year.
yeah, and that was part of my frustration with the budget committee last year. is-
That people come in and want to start the whole thing over again.
Yeah, and there was no format being followed really. So,
Let's see.
Are you able to go into the town manager report?
Yeah, we'll do that while she's done that together. All right, so the congressional discretionary spending cycle is open again. Everybody has 3 different dates of submittal. We already put together and submitted for Jared Golden, Susan Collins is due in 2 days, and Angus King is due on the 25th. Fortunate enough, we got letters from Bobby Connery at the RCC. We got from Andy Sankey at Hancock County Emergency Management, Town of Goldsboro, Town of Windsor Harbor. That was substantial enough to really carry a whole lot of stuff, at least for Golden.
Yeah, because that's what we were missing last time. She said, right, we needed letters.
We had some stuff, but it's stuff a little more from folks that had a little more close
Right.
connection. I asked Northern Light for one. I had not received anything back from her. Hoping to get that before the Susan Collins submission. If the select board would like to put something together, that would be, that can't hurt either. But the ones from the emergency management folks really substantiate the need for a new building. In the Golden submission, we sent in the chapter from the comp plan, which also goes over the needs. Couple of photos from within the firehouse and around the firehouse. One really nice one where it shows the biggest fire truck in there. It has to be this far from the back wall, and the ceiling tiles were taken out so it can fit in the building. So it's a real testament to what goes on there. So we'll see. We're gonna,
Place of habit in the whole-
yeah. And we were told that in the past, just sending it to one, it was always a mistake. So sent it to all three. Because they said your odds are better, so do that. And really just putting it so that it can be done. We can give a better shot. It's just firehouse only. It's not firehouse, town hall, town office thing, because that's, again, you're shooting for the stars. A project like that should be a multi-stage project, not a once, out project. So we're keeping things reasonable and realistic to increase about our odds of getting something. Within the realm of emergency management, we got our check for supplying emergency services to Sorrento, $9,000 with the back money, so we're current with them. I got a call, send me an invoice, we'll send you a check. Thank you much. Speaking of paving, yes, today, Ralph Helms from Wellman Paving stopped by. Hey, if you need something, call me. So I'll let him know what we got going on here also. You can reach out to, I think Eaton did Taunton.
Yep.
Eaton, Wellman, whoever else, let them know we're putting something out in the paper.
Where are they at?
Don't know. Close enough that he can stop by and drop
Yeah.
a card. All right, so he did that. Again, on the thing of roads, we got grant money for a culvert. We got grant money for a bunch of stuff, including a culvert study. They came to the initial meeting, and we'll be going ahead with that as soon as weather has finally broken. You want to do that first? I'll start after.
Okay. So all I do is have him read this and he signs it?
I do, but just need you guys to appoint them. Which is do a motion to appoint them to the budget committee, and you sign. There's three places to sign this above.
That would be
Yeah.
dashes or four. All right. Make a motion to nominate John Keenan and Gerald Herbs for budget committee.
Do you guys want to do this before you see the
Yeah, I do.
guidelines for the
Oh,
committee and
okay.
stuff? Yeah, I know you are. Yep.
I like to
John's experience.
A little bit.
I have a question. Is there a conflict of interest if someone is suing the town? To be on a budget committee?
Well, that's why I'm suing the town. Well, I don't think it's a conflict of interest, because I think the town's misspending their money. They're already talking about it now, transferring money into accounts before going to the town and voting on it. These four individuals up here need to realize that I have got involved.
And I would appreciate
I'm
that.
just trying to teach you something here. And that I'm sitting down there and toothpicking this Maine Constitution law apart.
I appreciate
And
that.
so when I bring something up, if they tell me I'm wrong, I double check it.
All right, I'm not gonna support Jerry on it just because of your attitude and the way you address everybody and your rude.
I'm not.
So I will not support him on the budget committee.
Okay, go. Just, that's another thing where you're
If
taking
you
my
would come in and
constitutional
show,
rights away from me.
if you would show some sort of dignity and respect to people, you don't know me from Adam, you come in and start attacking me. It's rude, it's obnoxious, it's part of the problem with what's going on in politics today. I have done nothing but try to be amenable to you, and all you do is attack. I'm done with it.
Can I say something?
Yes, sir.
Jerry, do you think that you and I can work together to
Absolutely,
come up with the best interest? for the town
absolutely.
And what the town needs to go forward in, representing everyone in
Absolutely,
the town?
without a doubt. I've done it my whole life.
With that, I feel I could work with Jerry.
I'm not supporting him just because he's so
Okay.
rude when he comes in
But I
meetings. Okay,
Was I so rude to you when I came in tonight?
not tonight, but every other time you've been cussing at us and
So
swearing at
now,
us. and-
I haven't said nothing. Have not said nothing tonight.
Not tonight.
And all of a sudden now I'm the bad guy again. Thank you for asking your question.
May I, just because I asked the question, perhaps follow up with that. My concern, based on your comments, are whether or not you understand what the job is.
I have owned businesses in the past that were successful, so I understand what a budget entails and what it would take to do.
Right? Do you understand how the budget is approved?
Yes, I do. I've got it.
Please explain it to me from as you understand.
Okay,
I mean, you don't have to read
is
it.
this okay?
Follow up.
Can I explain?
Well, I guess
Well, I'm gonna read it right from the Maine State.
what I can tell you that I understand, and maybe you can tell me if I'm incorrect, because what you said earlier didn't sound correct to me, and I would really like to understand if I understand. And my understanding is that the budget is created by the budget committee as a straw
Oh.
for approval, and then it goes to the town for approval at the town meeting.
Actually, the town manager, if you have a town manager structure, the town manager's job is to draft a budget. It goes to the budget committee for review, and then it goes to the select board for approval to send to the town.
With the exception, the budget committee makes recommendations whether to approve certain items in the manager
Mhm.
budget.
Yep.
Or does not.
But you don't change it.
Yeah, you don't change it.
You don't
You don't
change it,
change
you
it,
just make
But you
recommendations.
go up there, and this is why on the annual meeting that I thought I was kind of put out was, there were certain items that we did not approve as our recommendation from the budget committee.
Mhm.
Yet was
Reverse.
put into the town warrant at the meeting that everything was approved by the budget, when in fact not everything was. Somebody tried to say it's either all or none. You either approve of it or you don't.
No,
approve of
it can be pieced together with what approvals there are.
But not
My
at the
thought
town
is,
meeting.
if the budget committee wanted to express to the members of the town, the tenants of the town, that we didn't approve this item of the manager's budget, proposed budget, that should have been stated.
Mhm.
You know, and that way it gives the people to decide, well, the town manager wants it, budget committee doesn't, we're gonna make a decision. So it's left up to the town. Even though that.
Right, but at that point, all they could do is accept or deny the whole thing. At town meeting,
Right.
you can't
And-
dissect it.
And I think that wasn't the case because, it doesn't really allow the members of the town to make amendments to dismiss that one article.
Mhm.
include an article or make changes? Well, I guess you can.
There's certain stuff you can't
Once
do.
It's approved, you can't change.
Or you either reject it or
But
you can't
reject
change
it
it.
per article,
Right.
not per se, accepting the whole thing,
Right.
or else there would only be one question.
Yeah.
The town people,
Right.
do we accept the budget? or
Well,
not?
that's why when you have one item that you think might be, I'm not sure, you separate it out from everything else because you don't want to impact a whole
Make
bunch
it
of other things.
We make it a separate.
You make it a separate warrant article. So this way, if it's a no, if it's a possible, or if it's a special ask, then you keep it separate by itself. So the populace gets to say yes or no,
Right. And
separate from other things.
It's gotta come to the select board first, so. If the
Well,
committee says, there's
Just
this
like,
line item,
Ray and I worked
explain it
out,
to us, cause
Ray and I
we'd have
worked
to-
out last year, when it came to the legality of the selectmen.
Mhm,
compensation.
exactly.
That was, which I keep getting a bum rap when I try to stick with something that is lawful.
No,
$10 a day.
you knew it should be different. And the language had to be different. So it was different. And we figured it out.
You did, but you just put it in. a separate article.
Exactly.
People, which is the correct way.
Mhm.
Previously, leading up to that.
It was lumped in.
Not done the correct
Oh.
way. And then if I say anything, I get smacked in the head.
No, I think we worked hard to try and figure the way it needed to be,
Well,
you know?
To me, I'm a stickler with crossing the T's and
Yeah.
dotting the I's.
Yeah.
When that gets just kind of brushed to the side.
Yeah. Which was good. It was like,
You and I worked together.
Yeah.
It was properly done, and I
Yeah.
commend you.
well, because it was as simple as leaving it on its own. It's its own category, it's its own thing, and that was beautiful.
Yeah.
Because I know it was a long time thing you were trying to get right.
I made the motion. to go.
So we got it right.
And I-
You have to
I-
do
It's been amended.
I thank you because it was the back and forth.
Yeah, for about 5 years.
But you created the environment for the aha moment, which was nice.
And,
It's been amended to speak very out.
Yeah, actually, I think through it, I had my little temper tantrum. Jerry, if you want to do this and you guys can do it, I'm all for it. I want people to look at it to keep us in line. And
Well, we're already over a month behind having everything. And look, you can say what you want. He was brought in here to make sure that all this shit ran good. At that
This
point,
is
listen
never
to me,
mind.
let me just finish real quick.
I think
At
it-
that
it-
meeting,
Never
we're
mind.
allowed to decide how many selectmen we're gonna have going forward and how the town should be run.
every time you've come up with something so far, I've found you've been wrong.
Right.
Anyway, so never mind, I'm not supporting it.
Amend the motion to appoint John Keenan to the budget committee.
I second that.
All in favor? You can read that to him.
So I guess that's a big negative on you too.
It would be one against, and it wouldn't
It
pass.
would be a negative against me too, right? You would vote no as well,
I made the motion to have you.
wouldn't
Right.
you?
I
Make that
did.
motion.
I did. It failed.
No.
But it was the time.
All I heard him say is I'm not
Could
gonna
it
vote.
be, could we do it from the poll?
Certainly, before again, next,
Yep.
Yeah. come
Do it
next
again.
time one great, sir, absolutely. Do it, yeah. And that's not saying you don't go to the meetings and give them input, it just means you're not an official member of the committee.
That's kind of how
We could-
that's kind of how you
let's do-
came in last time.
Yeah.
You were sitting off in the corner. And it's like, come on over. There you go.
Was there other stuff on town manager report?
A couple things.
You do raise your hand. Read this whole working motion. Raise your right hand.
I, John Keenan, do swear that I would support the Constitution of the United States and of the state of Maine, so long as I shall continue a citizen thereof, and do swear that I faithfully discharge all the duties incumbent upon me as member of the Budget Committee according to the Constitution and the laws of the state of Maine. So help me God.
You sign.
All right, well, he's signing, what else we got?
Okay, so got that done. That housing opportunity grant that we got, work is gonna start in May, so they're waiting for grounds to be prep enough to do things, yeah. I reached out.
Soil sanitary plates on your Mustang, right? Is that your Mustang, the black one? That's yours?
My Mustang.
How do you have those plates?
I mean, of course.
Well, you got
I'm just curious. Here, I just want you to read that right.
He knows that too. That's the weird part.
I'll read it after the meeting. Show me after the meeting.
Okay.
So I reached out to Josh from DM&J about the trailers.
Mhm.
There's not two, there's three. So I gave him the addresses and he's gonna go take a look and give us a quote back
Okay.
on what it would take to get rid of those. He was interested in doing it. Grace Riley, the property down the block with the
Yeah.
collapsed roof. I've been trying to reach out to her. None of her numbers successfully go through. Lynn is going to reach out to her to see if we can get her to contact the town office. I actually asked, do we know if she's still alive? And she said, no, she's good. I see her, I see activity from her on social media. I said, could you please reach
Oh,
out
good. Got it.
personally just to make sure that she's around? Let's see. Cell tower fees. You guys had the schedule up you made the schedule for fees for stuff.
Mhm.
Okay, we currently in the wireless ordinance, it says, that there are fees, doesn't
Mhm.
cite that there are fees. So there are no fees. Upon recommendation of the CEO, he's saying any kind of adjustment to an existing tower, a fee for that should be 3,000. And customarily based on other areas within our region, a new one would have a fee of 15,000.
So we didn't.
There were no
when
fees
they
attached to
Put
it.
that up. Wow.
So they may have done something, but there's nothing to tie that ordinance to a fee schedule.
Mhm.
Since if you had this fee schedule that we're going to put into place, maybe it's time to do that as well.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
15,000 for a new and 3,000 for an adjustment too.
Mhm.
So
So if they're gonna add modules to it or.
yeah, because they make a lot of money off of those, and if this is the spot they want to put it, they have to pay up. So just a suggestion on that. Other than that, nothing.
What's the committee report? Got the friendly, nice. Follow along sheet here.
First of all, I'm gonna pull up papers that I have in my, they're just this after I publish them. Apologies. I think we've got all the data here. Kind of a fun story to start to tell now, where we total hours that's going to the town and the number of residents there. That's continued to be consistent, and the volunteer hours. All of it, 298 residents. General updates, I can see if you have most of the story there, you guys can read through it yourself. The things I really want to make you guys aware of is the Earth Day cleanup is coming April 25th. So mark your calendars for that. And
You said, yeah.
Miss Steve will be reaching out to everybody that had signed up before, but if you know somebody that's not on there, have them email her, that'd be great. Which will be starting those phone calls very soon.
If you're not emailed and you want to show up anyway the same day, any problem?
8 AM?
There's always sections that seem not to be attended to, so I imagine that'd be the case, but it'd be nice to know who we're assigned it to what. So I encourage them to call just for planning purposes and lunch. How many people to feed.
Mhm.
Music in the Park is happening again this year, and it'll be, I believe it's the first 4 Wednesdays. Need to confirm that. It's on a couple of items there, and then we'll know the acts that are coming soon. So keep that in mind. Those are the big, I guess the other highlight is we need to grow on social media, so everybody that likes support follows what each one is doing. That allows us to get more word out to more people about the things that we're doing for community outreach, that just allows us to grow it. And we are continuing to grow all of this in person in big ways. So thanks everyone for that.
Now, where's the coffee house?
Right here.
Right in here?
Yeah.
This is it.
Oh,
Yeah, and it's turned into quite the event. So that was what was supposed to be Romeo's before,
Mhm.
and now it's just co-ed, if you will. And we have a table set up, and it's full of people every time, and it's turned into just a wonderful event. We get folks from Winter Harbor, Goldsboro, Hancock, just coming to get out of the house, have a sense of community, and get to know folks. So we've got some new friendships made that's really fun to see and grow. And it's the second one of the months, because we do it twice in the month. The second one, we've started having a discussion topic. The first one was solo aging, and then the next one was echo dots. And this Friday, we're going to talk about AI.
oh, nice.
And the ladies out lunching has a strong, solid group of at least
18.
16.
Friday. So,
You
yeah,
have to rent out all the black sheep.
Yeah.
You have to rent out all the black sheep.
we pick up they give us a whole row, and we filled that whole row the last time we were black sheep. So yeah, they're probably gonna have to give us a little more space, but yeah. So it's kind of fun to take the business to different restaurants in town and in the area just to support them. And they seem to be really excited when we come.
Yeah.
And they're kind of working out their logistics for the decade. It's a thing, right? But we tend to tip well and treat them well. So it's going well. And those are, I think, big successes in terms of creating community, bringing people together to break bread, and not just the ladies, but also the coffee house, just sitting and talking. You know, the more we can get in a room and be civil with each other, the better it is for our town.
Community's needed.
Any other questions?
Where was the typo?
You checked the last one. There's a double.
You've been looking for the typo the whole time.
And Misty Gleason only worked with 13 residents as it's written, so 14 there, but it was only 13 based on the numbers of the book.
And the birthday cards and the buckets are the same number, 80? Nice.
That's not that is correct.
Oh, speaking of birthday cards, someone sent in another envelope full of cards for the Circle of Friends today.
That is a program that the news that came out about that years ago just keeps on getting. The other thing I really should point out is Nadine Murphy creates wonderful little paintings, just little 2x2 paintings that go in dollar stuff.
Oh,
And they're all little original paintings. The watercolors are very nice. Yeah. Hopefully she can keep that up.
This
But
week and dropped off
it's a lot to.
a box
It's a
of
lot to
cards.
do. I don't know how long it'll go on for.
Well, and she apologized for not making more.
Yeah. because-
Sorry, this is all I could make this week. She's a pip. Kudos to her.
that's nice. Do we have Bonnie or somebody from Parks and Rec?
No. I think she anticipated, but I don't. Was not able to attend.
Public comment.
Gary, you want me to read that now? Public comment section, you want me to read it? No, you want me to read it, where it's the public comment part of our agenda.
loud?
Certainly.
I like Mr. Al to hear everything, so nothing's misconstrued about what I said or. Right. This one's about, you got, run the timer. I don't wanna, you know,
John,
huh?
we call it the John clock.
Whatever. A town at a meeting at least 90 days before the annual meeting may designate other town officials to be elected by ballot. The election officials at the last annual town's meeting is deemed to be as such as designation until the town acts otherwise at a meeting held at least 90 days before the annual meeting, at which the election will be held.
Okay.
So when the town has its meeting in June,
Mhm.
that's when you're supposed to elect your town officials. Not in November. Because what you're telling me, and the reason I'm diving so deep into this, Mike.
I don't mind you diving deep into it.
No.
At all.
Well, the reason I'm diving so deep into it is this 9-year standoff that we've had. And now that you say you have the ordinance, I haven't seen it yet. They say they turned it in.
Yeah, obviously.
They said it's got to be voted on. And I can guarantee you it's not going to come out till November.
No, it's coming in June.
Huh?
June.
Oh, you're going to vote on the ordinance in June?
In June.
When you're supposed to do it at the annual meeting.
At the annual meeting, yeah.
Okay.
At the annual meeting, which I've been a stickler on, the very first thing you do,
I copied it right from the main standard. So I'm reading it verbatim.
is you vote on Article 1.
Right.
Second thing you do, obviously, vote on Article 2. Then you can have a bifurcated meeting. Stop at that point,
And that's what we did.
and
Yeah.
then hold, but you're supposed to have the time that the polls open,
Mm-hmm,
and Ms. Grindle knows this, the time that the polls close.
mm-hmm.
Other than that, it's subject to the state law being 4 hours if you don't have the closing time. Then you're allowed to vote for, selectmen,
Mhm.
which is Article 2.
Mhm.
Then, if you do a bifurcated meeting, then any referendum can be voted on at the posted time.
Second,
yeah.
That it continues. In that, the way a bifurcated meeting goes is during that time, the meeting stays open. It's one meeting. And basically what you're doing is just going into
Big break.
recess. Yeah.
until it's recalled. Now, there's been a lot of times, to my dismay, that the annual meeting is perceived to everybody in the town to start usually in the evening, the second part. And it's not really advertised as the start of the annual meeting is when you call it to order on up to one. So that's something that I've gotten a lot of grief with trying to have them to do. Last year, it was done correctly.
Last year we did it that way.
Because what you're supposed to do is during once the meeting is called by the clerk, at that point, anyone can nominate themselves or anybody for moderator.
Mm-hmm.
Now, last year, the reason why I quit the board, the budget committee, and was a little get to try to speak, is the moderator then got a higher paid for, a professional moderator to squash comment and basically to control the narrative. However, once you do that, elect a moderator to, handle the meeting, the person who was elected moderator has to stay at the meeting. And if there's a question that I would love to have brought up, where the hired moderator was violating his own duty, that he's a hired individual, that I could then make a motion. Elected moderator was not present. Once you get took off.
Real quick, a moderator can have an assistant,
Yeah,
but
Yeah.
the moderator has to be there.
okay, yeah, I got that, yeah.
Last year, the moderator.
I didn't know she left.
Yeah, I
So
didn't,
basically, to me, what it was a hired individual. And especially when he's making comments like, I've done this 4 times in the last month, and I enjoy shutting people up like you. And taking that, you know, I dealt with it all, you know. I try not to get upset or anything like that, because it doesn't do any good.
Mhm.
But,
What if you threaten 5 minutes into the meeting with that?
oh, it was a blessing. You know, getting threatened with arrest, stuff like that.
You
But,
did.
So basically, it was a higher stuff, you know, and each time that I tried to bring up a pertinent issue on the article, speaking within my rights, you know, that should be embraced. You should get people involved to speak their mind, what's going on in the town. Because not only, you might not be able to get your opinion or your thoughts out at the annual meeting. But what that does is it allows people to get interest in town government. You know, more people we can get interested in town government, the better.
yeah,
We
John,
should have this room filled.
yeah, John, we talked about this before, that we've got to figure out a better way to do it, because again, we have people don't go to the meetings because they're so chaotic. Like
All that has done, let me tell you
Needs to be a
this,
balance.
all that has done within this past year is my family says, why do you even waste your time? You know, I got my brother tearing up my signs so that I don't get involved into the town, you know? But I'm the type of person that always wants to get involved, always wants to do things for the So when public opinion is swayed against me as, oh God, here he goes again. He's gonna stand up for every single article and voice every single article. The reason why I do that is because everyone has a right to stand up and speak against every article at the meeting. If not, they should just have one question only, to approve everything and go home, right? And then that's taking away the voice of the people. That's taking away involvement into local government. And that's the thing that the town should be embracing, not squashing, to eliminate. You should be encouraging. When Jerry right here, he's a high-toned individual, right? But that's the way I take him. I take him as he has a right to have a voice. The same person is a meek person trying to talk. You know, they have a right. Everyone has a right. And the reason why you have a moderator is, and I've said this so many times, that if you really want to have a well-run meeting with order, what the moderator of every meeting should do is appoint a constable. Constable just being in itself over the age of 18. That constable, so if the selectmen feel that the meetings are getting out of control, that constable is the person who's in charge to either calm a person down, or have them, and it's in the Maine Constitution, removed for one singular meeting. That's it. Not to be trespassed, not to be kicked out, just that one meeting. Now, if he doesn't listen to the constable that was appointed by the moderator of the meeting,
Right, that's something.
and this is the way it's been for hundreds of years, back when everybody was wearing wigs, you know, that constable then can enforce.
John, I'm gonna interrupt you again. It's just for a second. And I've had this conversation with you before. Is it better now than it was?
Everything but my health. It's taken a toll just to get these simple things.
Okay,
Simple things.
is it better now than what it was?
From 7 years ago, it's tremendously better.
Okay, we're not gonna fix it
Whether-
overnight.
Well, I know,
But you bring up some good
whether,
points.
whether I stand up and question every single article, I think to myself, and this is the only reason why I believe I'm putting myself through it, is that it's bringing attention that everyone has a right to speak, whether they don't or not. I've seen in a couple of cases where I've stood up and spoke on an article, and then somebody else got up and spoke on an article as well. That to me is my salvation, because I'm not the only one subjecting myself to it. You know, and once again, that should be embraced. The more, the better. And that's what government, to me, should be. And that's what gets people involved. If we get people involved in our town and moving ahead in our town and making it better,
Mhm.
you know, that should be anybody's goal.
So-
Not to badmouth them, not to smack them in the back of the head, you know, and I've had some people stick up for me, you know. Mr. Andrews, he's had my back before, you know, and that's good. You know, that keeps me encouraged that what I'm doing is well worth it. My family doesn't think so. My family thinks that somebody's gonna shoot me or something.
My
But
wife
that's
too.
not what I'm thinking of at the time. I'm thinking of what's good for our community. So.
I know, I just want to address something Jerry said, okay? So not to interrupt you, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You read something aloud. You read something aloud just a few minutes ago, okay? I think you're getting confused with something, and I'm not saying what you read was wrong, okay? People get hung up because there's several different forms of town meeting. There's like 2 or 3 different forms. Some's open where you go make public, you know, and we've thought about this before too, because far back as we can find, we've done the Australian ballot type. And there's different forms of town meeting. And I think that's where you're getting confused and getting a mixed message there. Because our time, I can
Go ahead, I'm listening.
I can't remember all of them off the top of my head. I can print them out for you to understand what the different forms of town meetings are, because they do have different ways of being run. And what you just read is one type of town meeting. And we have a different type of town meeting. And so that's where you're getting getting confused with your information, I think. And so that's just what I wanted to explain.
I think John
What
did a
we-
good job telling what,
What we
Our
talked
type of
about
meeting is.
before is, yes, there are special meetings.
Mhm.
There are meetings where you get a petition and you can call a special meeting.
Mhm.
That helps me.
Right.
I agree, but there's only one that requires for all the citizens to show up. And that's the annual meeting.
But I'm trying to say, even the annual meeting, you have the open and you could have the one where people just go in and you don't even have to have the nomination process with papers. You just, people just go in.
We're printing them all. Go ahead.
nominate people from the floor to be select board people. That's what I'm saying.
Well, that's the way it used to be held,
But there's different type, yeah, there's different types of town meeting.
but the.
I mean, for the annual meetings, it's not town meeting, but annual meetings.
Right, but the meetings are held by, since we don't have a charter. Okay, that seems to be a bigger.
Yeah,
We don't have a charter.
yeah, we don't have a
You
lot
know,
of
so
stuff.
it would be nice to have one, because we'd have something to rely on under municipal self-rule.
Yep.
That's the one thing.
Yeah,
that
charter
the
government's different.
Constitution of Maine has granted all the towns, is that they're able to have self-rule. But the only way to have self-rule is through charter. Since we don't have a charter, then we have to fall on Maine revised state statutes. And in that, in the annual meeting, the two things, the only two things that are required by the tenants of the municipality is Article 1 and Article 2. Not even the budget. If you look in what it says in the Maine Constitution, approving a budget is not a requirement by the tenant. So they could go up there and I could comment to every single article and we could vote against the budget and the select board can just say, yeah,
Yep.
whatever. But the two things that are a constitutional right is Article 1, electing a moderator, and Article 2, electing a selectman. That's it. That's our only requirement. Other than, you know, we could petition and remove, you know, and stuff like that, but those are the other meetings that Ms. Brenda will talk.
Okay, do we have further public comment?
I didn't mean to get all that, you know, big horse stuff, but pertinent to tonight's agenda. Do we publish the warrants, the payroll warrant, the AP, is that put out on the board like they do in,
No, it's available in the office though. It's available in the office.
but it's not publicly posted?
Right,
The-
it's not
the-
out
the
there.
AP
Because just for instance, now,
Yeah.
you walk into the front door, they got their warrants posted right there for everybody to see.
I'll have to see what they're actually posting, if they're posting every piece of paper or they have an
So whether
overall
it's
document.
Official town posting place, you know, being.
So I guess the answer to your question is no, we don't do it.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, because if you look at the AP warrant, it's thick, but the
Yeah.
actual report is only like 3 pages.
But
So if they're posting the report, that is the warrant.
yeah,
So whatever the warrant is.
Yeah.
So
Like the
why
town-
do you ask, John? Just curious to see if
Just
you
for public information.
Yeah, I'll ask what they post.
It's available in the town office. If we're required to post it, we'll post it. But
Yeah, I'll find out.
I just need to recommend. Oh, so anyone can see.
Yeah.
Transparent. Determine on the grain. You know. What was done before was when they ran the machine.
Yep.
Stuff like that. It was a disaster.
Yeah.
But the one
This
thing I
was.
wanted to point out is when you consider in tree trimming again, those tree trimmers, when they get to the telephone poles, like wires and stuff like that. If you go down the Grange Hall, I'm just gonna use the Grange Hall.
Sure.
If you go down the Grange Hall Road, the guy pretty much got everything, except for where the poles were, where the guide wires were. It's like, he didn't even get near. So, and if you go down there and you start looking, you kind of say, well, there's a telephone pole in here. You know, just so he doesn't get electrocuted, because
Yep.
knock some stuff down and stuff like that. It's like it might need to,
Yeah,
whether hand or.
I looked at it, hand trimming is what I thought, just with
Because
clippers.
right, since I was up to date, what was going, you guys were doing. I'm into the meeting. I went around and cleared everything around my,
I could tell, yep.
you know, like that, make sure that the guy didn't do that. So, the other, the tree trim. where it's gonna go, just a letter.
Oh,
Because I kind of.
Oh, yeah, yeah, we learned our lesson.
If you sent a letter to say, one, we're gonna trim on this particular day. Two, if you don't want us to trim on this particular day, you trim on this particular day. Three, if you don't trim on that particular day, then we're gonna come in and trim to what we believe to be within the rights. And if you're doing something that's reasonable, actually, like with me, doing something reasonable, that's okay. But just letting the people know, because when they all came here, that would seem that, they weren't,
no,
they weren't given.
we're gonna do the same thing when paving crews too.
And moving to the road, how much we spent, how much we got left over, and with the price going, everything out, now that I'm on the budget committee. Maybe hold it during the daytime for people to come, so that they can get involved. Maybe if you can let me know what day I can come in
I'll let you
here
know.
and start. I'd like to do this as soon as next week.
Yeah, I'll be in touch with you.
And then that way, the very first thing I'll do is get with Gray, because we already know using common sense that paving the road and being proactive on our roads, which to me, our schools and our roads are number one, number two in the town. That we keep them updated and repaired in good shape. So I'd like to start with Ray on finding out what roads, because I've got the report, I still have the report of our roads that need repair.
I have some, I diddled with that, and I took all the sections where it said good, bad, and I kind of scrunched it into something smaller.
Yeah.
So we can update it, so like,
Yeah,
all the stuff on Taunton,
He's got.
we can now change it into good, so we can work on that.
And then using your recommendations, this time to see what our urgent needs are first. And if we can do like another mile of road at least this year, or even two, that would be great. I can go ahead and start working that into the. Like,
Yep.
hold without maybe this month or the first of April.
Like in the first
So
of the year.
that we can have estimates of a mile or of 2 miles. And then start working that into the budget right away. So when we're asking people for the budget, that we can have it into the budget, and then you can say, we spent 400 last year, we were able to do X amount of miles downtown. Didn't do much on the milling, but it seemed to get over break. But identifying the roads, I don't care, you can do my road last, I don't care. But
No, this was,
was like-
I live on a state road, so it's.
yeah, I just take my bike up and down there. But yeah, as soon as we can, I'd like to start doing that. And Jerry, please, by all means, join me.
Absolutely, just let me
And,
know.
Give me, even if you're not official, I can use my help, like you. That's.
Yeah.
So, John,
And the other thing about volunteering, Dave Franklin, if you need help, let me know.
Will do.
Okay.
so John, for your, on paving, so we had put in 400,000 for this year's budget that we're working in.
Mhm.
I went in just to, since we want to pave more, I made it to 500. To added 100,000 more to that. It doesn't buy you a whole lot more, but it gives us the ability to do more.
I'd be good with that, and instead of just, doing a number, like, if you picked out 3 different areas, let's concentrate on that, get a real life estimate of what these 3 areas are, so we can tell the townspeople that this is our goal for this year. We want
Mhm.
this road, and this road done.
At
So
approximately.
next year, we can
Right.
respond to
Yep.
more expensive.
The last guy to really tackle the roads and go, all on into them was Frank Dedman.
Yeah.
Frank said, I'm not leaving office until all the roads are paved. So, and Frank made good on all that. So I think we need to go back and continue Frank's work.
Yeah, And yeah, from what I read, we only got 13 miles of the road.
Like 14, but still,
14.
it's still a mile of road. You know,
If
that's
we did two
that's
miles,
$150,000.
only 7 years.
But within, like, if Taunton's able to hang together one piece for the next 10 years,
But the whole thing is, when folks did stuff, they didn't go back 5 years later and go, "There's some cracks around here. Let's go fill these." They said, and then we got to redo the whole road. There's no
well,
maintenance.
that's the other thing. Is obviously, even, let's say, if I went down Taunton right now, I'm gonna see cracks.
Mhm.
You know, do we have it in our budget to hire a guy with that black stuff to fill in the cracks?
I was told that road can flatten right out.
So I think that's something we need to plan for.
And another thing is, like, I'm gonna use Grange Hall Road for instance. I can see dirt right through the road, you know, so actually, milling is what we should be looking for in the roads. I was kind of hoping that there was more milling done on Taunton, for example, not just keep making everything high. But by milling, you're able to maintain the road the way it is, the elevations the way it is, the ditches the way it is. And it might be just a little bit more,
And you remove this much, add this much.
but it's not gonna crack up in here by just putting skin coat of asphalt over. So,
Anybody comment?
I'm with you.
Nope. All right, make a motion to adjourn.
A second,
All in favor? Thank you.
one more thing now that the meeting's over. I invite everybody to sign my nomination.
you know, if you get elected,
I'd be very impressed.
I will.